Well, when people move abroad, their checklist is usually long. Visas, airline tickets, accommodation, health insurance, university admission, job contracts. Everything demands attention. In the middle of all of this, one thing it often gets ignored. What about your bank account at home? After all, the account still works. Money can still be transferred. UPI may still function. Online banking remains active. Everything appears normal. So naturally, many people assume that there is nothing to worry about, right? But financial experts say that assumptions can create problems later on. Well, when an Indian citizen becomes a non-resident Indian or an NRI, their banking requirements change. Banks generally expect their customers to update their residential status and convert the regular resident account into the appropriate NRI category. The objective is not to create any unnecessary paperwork, though. It is to ensure accounts are being operated under the correct regulations here. Well, in the meantime, many people they postpone their update because there seems to be no immediate consequences. Well, the account it continues functioning and daily banking activities that remains unaffected. The issue it often emerges later during KYC verification, account review, or maybe specific financial transactions. At that point of time, banks may request documentation and clarification regarding the residential status here. And the good news is that modern banking has become much more flexible now. Many NRIs they continue to use digital banking service, mobile application and internet banking and even UPI now depending on their bank's policy. The key is to ensure that the account structure reflect the customer's actual residential status. Well, it may sound like a small detail to you, but for Indians living overseas, it can save significant complications in the future because, let's be honest, sometimes the most important financial decisions are the ones people forget to make. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we begin with America, country built by immigrants, a country that proudly calls itself the land of opportunities. Now, for generations, millions have arrived over there carrying their dreams in their suitcases and hope in their hearts. But today, immigration is once again at the center of a political storm. In fact, the language that is becoming sharper, the divide is becoming deeper, and the whole debate it is getting louder. US President Mr. Donald Trump, he has made headlines once again. Well, he took to social media platform with a statement that immediately sparked reaction across the political spectrum. His message, it was short, but it was explosive. While he wrote, if you import people from third world country, you quickly become the third world country. Just one sentence, yet powerful enough to ignite conversation across America. Now think about this for a moment here. America is a nation where almost everyone can track their roots back to another country. Well, whether it's Ireland, whether it's Italy, Mexico, China, India, Africa or elsewhere. The story of America has always been closely tied to migration. And that is exactly why statements like these generate such an intense debate. Supporters of Mr. Trump says that he is talking about illegal immigration. They argue that his concerns are focused on border security, economic pressure, and the challenges of managing large-scale migration. However, here critics see the whole statement very differently. They believe the language it is divisive and unfairly paints millions of immigrants with the same brush. As a result, America once again finds itself asking a very familiar question. Who gets to define what it means to be an American? But this story is more about just one social media post. It comes at a time when immigration has become one of the most fiercely debated issues in the United States. Well, recently the Trump administration faced a setback when a court blocked a proposed fee that was linked to H-1B visa. Basically a category used by thousands of highly skilled foreign professionals, including many Indians here. Mr. Trump, he responded by criticizing federal judges, accusing them of standing in the way of his immigration agenda. So this is no longer just political statement. It is part of a much larger battlefield. Basically a battle over borders, a battle over jobs, and a battle over national identity. And as America moves closer to another election year, well, immigration is expected to remain one of the most powerful and emotional issues that is shaping the country's future. Here one thing is certain. This debate is not ending anytime soon. In fact, it appears to be getting louder with every passing day.